Hello, Shalom. How are we doing today? Welcome to day 61 of Daily Bread. We'll be reading in Exodus 22, 1 Samuel 22, Psalm 66, Proverbs 30, and Luke 10. Okay, we'll be in the Scriptures 2009 version, Exodus 23 on page 80. Exodus chapter 22 on page 80. When a man steals an ox or a sheep and shall slaughter it or sell it, he repays 5 cattle for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If the thief is found breaking in and he is struck so that he dies, there is no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there is guilt for his bloodshed. He shall certainly repay. If he has not the means, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is indeed alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or a donkey or sheep, he repays double. When a man lets a field or vineyard be grazed bare and lets loose his livestock and feeds it in another man's field, he repays for the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. When fire breaks out and spreads to thorn bushes so that the sack grains or the standing grain or the field is consumed, he who kindled fire must certainly repay. When a man gives silver or goods to his neighbor to guard, and it is stolen out of a man's house, if the thief is found, he repays double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought before Elohim to see whether he has put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For every matter of transgression, for ox, for donkey, for sheep, for garment, or whatever is lost, which another claims to be his, let the matter of them both come before Elohim. And whomever Elohim declares wrong repays double to his neighbor. When a man gives to his neighbor a donkey or an ox or a sheep or any beast to watch over, and it dies or is injured or is driven away while no one is looking, let an oath of Yahweh be between them, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he does not repay. But if it is indeed stolen from him, he repays to the owner. If it is torn to pieces, then let him bring it for evidence. He does not repay what was torn. And when a man borrows from his neighbor and is injured or dies while the owner of it is not present, he shall certainly repay. But if its owner was with, he does not repay. If it was hired, he is entitled to the hire. And when a man entices a maiden who is not engaged and lies with her, he shall certainly pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he repays according to the price of maidens, the bride price of maidens. Do not allow a practicer of witchcraft to live. Anyone lying with the beast shall certainly be put to death. He who slaughters to an Elohim except Yahweh only is put under the ban, which means, do not tread down a sojourner or oppress him, for you were sojourners in the land of Mizraim. Do not afflict any widow or fatherless children. If you do afflict them at all, if they cry out to me at all, I shall certainly hear their cry. And my wrath shall burn, and I shall kill you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If you do lend silver to any of my people, the poor among you, you are not to be like ones that lend on interest to him. Do not lay interest on him. If you take your neighbor's garment as a pledge at all, you are to return it to him before the sun goes down. For this is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What does he sleep in? And it shall be when he cries to me, I shall hear, and I show favor. Do not revile an Elohim, nor curse a ruler of your people. Do not delay giving your harvest and your vintage. Give me the firstborn of your sons. Likewise you are to do with your oxen, with your sheep. It is to be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day you give it to me. And you are set apart men to me, and you do not eat any meat which is torn to pieces in the field. You throw it to the dogs. Samuel 22 on page 304. And David went out from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And his brothers and all of his father's house heard it, and went down to him there. And everyone who was in distress, everyone who was in debt, and everyone bitter is being gathered to him. So he became head over them, and there were about 400 men with him. And David went out there to Mizpeh of Moab, and said to the sovereign of Moab, Please let my father and my mother come here with you, till I know what Elohim does for me. And he left them with the sovereign of Moab, and they dwelt with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. And the prophet Gad, G-A-D, said to David, Do not remain in the stronghold. Leave and go to the land of Judah. So David went into the Hertha woods. And Shaul heard that David and the men who were with him had been discovered, while Shaul was in Gibeah, sitting under a turmeric tree in Ramah, with his spear in his hand, and all of his servants standing about him. And Shaul said to his servants, who were standing around him, Hear now, you Benjamites, does the son of Yishai give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds? For all you have conspired against me, and there is no one who reveals to me that my son has made a covenant with the son of Yishai. And there is not one of you who is grieved for me, or reveals to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me, to lie in wait as it is this day. And Dogon, the Edomite, who was set over the servants of Shaul, answered and said, I saw the son of Yishai going to Nob, to Amalek, son of Amminadab. And he inquired of Yahweh for him, gave him food, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistines. And the sovereign sent someone to call Amalek, the priest, son of Amalek, and all of his father's house, the priests who were in Nob. And they came to the sovereign. And Shaul said, Hear now, son of Amalek. And he answered, Here I am, my master. And Shaul said to him, Why have you conspired against me, you and the son of Yishai? By giving him bread and a sword, you have and have inquired of Elohim for him to raise against me, to lie in wait, as it is this day. And Amalek answered the sovereign and said, And who among all your servants is so trustworthy as David? Who is the sovereign's son-in-law, and has turned aside to your counsel, and is esteemed in your house? Have I today begun to inquire of Elohim for him? Far be it from me. Let not the sovereign lay a case against his servant, or against any in the house of my father. For your servant knew not of all this, little or much. And the sovereign said, You shall certainly die in Amalek, you and all your father's house. The sovereign then said to the guards, who stood about him, Turn and put the priest of Yahweh to death, because their hand is also with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not reveal it to me. But the servants of the sovereign would not lift their hands to come against the priest of Yahweh. And the sovereign said to Doeg, You turn and come against the priests? So Doeg the Edomite turned and came against the priests, and put to death on that day 85 men who wore a linen shoulder garment. And he struck Nob, the city of priests, with the edge of the sword, from men even to the women, and from children even to nursing infants, oxen and donkeys and sheep, with the edge of the sword. And one of the sons of Amalek, son of Etub, named Ebitur, escaped and fled after David. And Ebitur reported to David that Shaul had killed the priest of Yahweh. And David said to Ebitur, I knew that day, when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would certainly inform Shaul. I am accountable for all the lives of your father's house. Remain with me, do not fear, for he who seeks my life seeks your life, but with me you are safe. Psalm 66 on page 681. Shout with joy to Elohim, all the earth. Sing out the splendor of his name. Make his praise esteemed. Say to Elohim, how awesome are your works. Through the greatness of your power, your enemies pretend obedience to you. All the earth bow to you. They sing praise to you. They praise your name, Salah. Come and see the works of Elohim, awesome acts toward the sons of men. Six. He has turned the sea into dry land. They went through the river on foot. There we rejoiced in him. Exodus 15. Who rules his power forever, his eyes keeping watch on the nations. Let the rebellious not exalt themselves, Salah. Bless our Elohim, you peoples, and sound his praise abroad. Who keeps us in life, and does not allow our feet to be moved. For you, O Elohim, have proved us. You have refined us as silver as refined. You brought us into the net. You laid affliction on our loins. You have let men ride at our head. We went through fire and through water, but you brought us out to plenty. I enter your house with ascending offering. I complete my vows to you. That which my lips have uttered and my mouth spoke in my distress, ascending offering of fatlings I offer to you. With the incense of rams I offer bulls with goats, Salah. Come, hear, all you who fear Elohim, and I relate what he has done for my being. I called to him with my mouth and praised with my tongue. If I have seen wickedness in my heart, Yahweh would not hear. Truly Elohim has heard me. He has given me heed to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be Elohim, who has not turned away my prayer, nor his loving commitment from me. Proverbs 30, on page 756. The words of Agar, son of Yagab, a message. This man declared to Ithil, to Ukel, for I am more stupid than anyone, and do not have the understanding of a man, and I have not learned wisdom, that I should know the knowledge of the set-apart one, who has gone up to the heavens and come down, who has gathered the wind in his fists, who has bound the waters in a garment, who established all the ends of the earth. What is his name, and what is his son's name, if you know it? Every word of Elah is tried. He is a shield to those taking refuge in him. Do not add to his words, lest he reprove you and you be found a liar. 2 matters I had asked of you. Deny them not to me before I die. Remove falsehood and a lying word far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me my lawful bread, lest I become satisfied and deny you, and say, Who is Yahweh? And lest I be poor and steal, and seize the name of my Elohim. Do not slander a servant to his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses its father, and does not bless its mother. There is a generation clean in its own eyes, but not washed from its own filth. There is a generation, oh, how haughty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are swords, and whose jaw teeth are knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The leech has 2 daughters. Give, give. 3 are not satisfied. 4 that never say enough. Sheol and the barren womb. Soil not satisfied with water, and fire which never says enough. An eye that mocks his father and scorns to obey his mother. Ravens of the wadi dig it out, and young eagles eat it. 3 matters are too marvelous for me, and 4 which I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the heavens, the way of a snake on a rock, the way of a ship in the heart of the sea, and the way of a man with a young woman or maiden. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She shall eat and wipe her mouth and say, I have not done wickedness. Under 3 matters the earth trembles, and under 4 it is unable to bear. Under a servant which he reigns, and a fool when he is satisfied with food. Under a hated woman who marries, and a female servant who supplants her mistress. There are 4 matters, which are little on the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer. The rock badgers are a weak folk, yet they make their homes in the crags. The locusts have no sovereign, yet they go out in formation. A spider takes hold with 2 hands and is in sovereign's places, king's places. There are 3 matters that are going well, and 4 are good in walking. A lion which is mighty among beasts, and does not turn away from facing all. A greyhound and a male goat, and a sovereign whose army is with him. If you have been foolish in lifting up yourself, or if you have plotted evil, put your hand on your mouth. For as milk under pressure brings forth curds, and as a nose under pressure brings forth blood, So wrath under pressure brings forth strife. Luke 10 on page 997. And after this the master appointed 70 others, and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him into every city, and placed there where he himself was about to go. When he said to them, the harvest indeed is great, but the workers are few. Therefore pray the master of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. Go, I send you out as lambs into the midst of wolves. Do not take a purse, nor a bag, nor sandals, and greet no one along the way. And whatever house you enter, first say, peace to this house. And if indeed a son of peace is there, your peace shall rest on it, and if not, it shall return to you. And stay in the same house, eating and drinking whatever with them, for the laborer is worthy of his wages. Do not move from house to house, and into whatever city you enter, and they receive you, eat whatever is placed before you. And heal the sick there, and say to them, the reign of Elohim has come near to you. And into whatever city you enter, and they do not receive you, go into its streets and say, even the dust of your city, which clings to us, we wipe off against you. But know this, that the reign of Elohim has come near you. And I say to you, that it shall be more bearable for Sodom in the day than for that city. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the miracles were done in you, had been done in Sor and Sidon, they would have repented long ago, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more bearable for Sor and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And you, Capharnaum, who are exalted into the heavens, shall be brought down to Sheol. Isaiah 14:13 and 15. He who hears you hears me. He who rejects me. Start over 16. He who hears you hears me. He who rejects you rejects me. And he who rejects me rejects him who sent me. And the 70 returned with joy, saying, Master, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And he said to them, I saw Satan falling out of the heaven as lightning. See, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and none at all shall hurt you. But do not rejoice in this. The spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names have been written in the heavens. In that hour, Yeshua exulted in the Spirit and said, I praise you, Father, Master of the heaven, and of the earth, that you have hidden these matters from clever and learned ones, and did not reveal them to babes. Yes, Father, because thus it was well pleasing in your sight. All have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows who the Son is, except the Father, and who the Father is, except the Son, and he to whom the Son wishes to reveal him. And turning to his taught ones, he said separately, Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. And I say to you that many prophets and sovereigns have wished to see what you see, and have not seen it, and to hear what you hear, and have not heard it? And see, a certain one learned in Torah coming up, trying him and saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life? And he said to them, let me go back. And see, a certain one learned in the Torah, stood up, trying him, and saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life? And he said to him, Yeshua, what has been written in the Torah? How do you read it? And he answering said, You shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. Deuteronomy 6:5. And your neighbor as yourself. Leviticus 19:11. And he said to him, You have answered rightly. Do this, and you shall live. Leviticus 18:5. But he, wishing to declare himself righteous, said to Yeshua, And who is my neighbor? And replying, Yeshua said, A certain man is going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among robbers, who both stripping and beating him went away, leaving him half dead. And by a coincidence, a certain priest was going down that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite also, when he came to the place, and seeing him, passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan journeying came upon him, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. And he went to him, and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. And having placed him on his own breast, he brought him into an inn, and looked after him. And going out on the next day, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said, Look after him, and whatever more you spend, I shall repay you when I return. Who then of the 3 do you think was the neighbor to him, who fell among the robbers? And he said, He who showed compassion on him. Then Yeshua said to him, Go and do likewise. And it came to be, as they went, he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Miriam, who also sat at the feet of Yeshua and heard his word. But Martha was distracted with much serving and coming up, and she said, Master, are you not concerned that my sister has left me to serve alone? Speak to her then to help me. And Yeshua answering said to her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many matters, but one only is necessary, and Miriam has chosen the good portion, which shall not be taken away from her. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.